This sculpture started as a piece of tissue paper, which I dripped wax onto and carved into a shape like this. And it took about 3 days. Then I added a coffee cup, a piece of wood at the bottom, some red vents, and a green sprue, which allow the air to flow out and the bronze to flow in. Those are also all made out of wax. Then, like my friend Anna is doing here, I dipped my piece in plaster and silica dust over and over for about a week. Once it's thick enough, it's ready for the burnout, where we put it in a kiln and burn out all of the wax and harden the plaster shell. We use a pulley and raise a bunch of pieces up into the kiln, and you can see the fire generated by gas to burn out all of the wax out of our pieces, leaving them hollow for when we're going to fill those hollow casts with bronze in the next step. Here you can see the wax dripping out of the kiln into a little tub of water to cool it down so we can recycle it and use it again.
The sound of the wax
Hey, open it up.
Using a different kiln, we heat up the bronze to 1,800 degrees. Lava from a volcano is about 2,000 degrees.
One, two, three.
This is the super fun part and super dangerous part. You're lifting about 90 pounds each on each side of this bar. There's 125 pounds of molten liquid bronze inside a 25-pound crucible and a bar that weighs maybe 30 pounds. It's also really hard to see what you're doing. There's a glare off the plastic masks that you're wearing, and it's just not that easy to see. There's a thin layer of tinfoil placed on the top hole of each of our casts just to keep other debris out during this process. The woman standing there in the foreground is there for insurance. If the cast springs a leak, she's going to shovel dirt on the hole to keep the bronze from oozing out of the cast. Luckily in this next part, Dave tripped over the blocks when the crucible was relatively empty.
I gotta put the crucifix down.
The pedestal that my downward dog with a twist piece sits on is from that splash right there. And the guy on the far side of the crucible there pouring the bronze, his name's Maurice. He's the one who suggested that I use that piece as my pedestal, and it fit perfectly. So thank you, Maurice.
We're gonna start putting everything away.
Okay. It's close-up time.
Cinque Madre, face in Macumba.
This is another one of my classmates named Jim. He has a ton of work ahead, polishing, grinding, sanding, chiseling. Here's my piece immediately after the pour with the bronze inside the plaster. The plaster is tough. It takes a lot of work, chipping away, sandblasting, grinding. You can see the large piece of bronze on the far left. That's what used to be the coffee cup. And the vents there, the thin rods and the sprue, all of that needs to be grinded and cut off of the piece. So after this point, there's maybe 2 more days of sanding and sandblasting and polishing to get it to look like this. And from this point, there's a lot to consider as far as adding patina and other such things. This is the man behind it all. This is my teacher, Michael Metcalf. He's an amazing guy, and none of this would be happening if it weren't for him. Here's some of the other pieces his students made this year. All of these pieces share the same birthday. Here's my website if you want to see some other things I like to do. Thanks for watching.